G'day legends and welcome back to the episode of That Slot Cargo News for a Friday. We have plenty to get through. Scala Trick have got a lot of photos to show off of some of their new upcoming cars. We've got some news from SRC, a new motor in the works, and Racetrack Scenic has got a new factory. So welcome back to the episode, legends, and let's dive headfirst into the car news, and we'll kick off with BRM, who are saying that they are moved into their factory and they are ready to start shipping out some of their latest cars, which are two Ford Capris. The first one is the Ford Capri RS 2600 Team Europea Car 9, and also we've got the Ford Capri RS 2600 Team Kent car number 4, the 24 Hour of Spa 72. Really cool looking cars. I'm a big fan of BRM. As you know, I love my 1/24 scale. They're up and running in the new factories, some new photos to come. So once they're loaded, I will share them on the news, but really exciting stuff from BRM. So up next is RevoSlot, and they're showing off 4 examples of the Mercedes-Benz CLK, 3 livery designs and 1 white kit. I'm a big fan of RevoSlot, of course, the sister company of BRM, so 1/24 scale is not your taste. These are 1/32. I think they're going to be very fast, they're going to look very good. Can't wait to see these out on track. 3 liveries to choose out of and a white kit. Which one are you going to choose? But there you go, some news from RevoSlot. Next, we have Skylorder showing off an absolute classic part of the Formula 90 to 1997. It's the Williams Cannon livery. Now, I found these pics on one of Pendle's social media pages. They are on the Pulse, so they are ready to go. So if you do want one of these, check out Pendle. I love this car, looks incredible. Will you get one? Let me know. But there you go, some news from Skylorder. So next we have a brand that we haven't seen for a long time giving out some news, and that's Sideways by Racer. Now they are showing off a sample of their Ford Zaxpeed. This looks really, really good, but they've also given us some information on their page about some upcoming cars. So they do have the new GT3 white kits, which should be available in September. They are saying that they didn't release which car it was, but there are 2 GT3 white kits, brand new. And they're also showing for 2024, they're working on 2 new molds, the BMW 3.5 and the K3. But the sample I am showing whilst I've been talking is the Capri Zaxpeed Group 5. And this looks really good, and I believe it's available very soon as well. So check with your stores. Really good to see some news from Sideways. I hope we get some more information and upcoming pics of these cars that they're talking about, but this is very welcome news from Sideways. So a little bit of news from SCX Scalextric. They're showing 3 cars on Hobby Classics website, so check them out, and also a video on their Instagram page. The 3 cars are the Ford Puma Rally. I believe this is highly anticipated in the European nations. Next, we have the BMW M1. I'm a big fan of this, love the color, love the livery. And finally, the Renault 5 Turbo, which I think is a hit. I've got a couple of their Renault 5 Turbos in the SCX range, absolutely love them. The video is the Corvette C8R on Instagram. It's showing the Fazla car and the Garcia car. So if you are a Corvette fan, it is coming from SCX. So got a handful of news from SCX Scalextric, which is good to see. Check out Hobby Classics website if you want some more information on those 3 first cars, but I do like the news from SCX. So next up, we have a handful of photos from Scalextric. I got these sent to me directly from Pendle Slots. Thank you, legends. Check out their socials because they have posted them there as well. And before we look at the photos, I had a good chat with Pendle. They have had a meeting for the Slotfest 2024. Of course, Pendle is a part of the organisation team, and Scalextric, I believe, is on board for 2024, which is very exciting news for the hobby and for that event. But what are these photos we are looking at? Well, we're looking at Fab 1, nice close-up, some colour samples, some figurine samples in the rear of the car. We haven't had a real good close-up of this yet in its finished form. We have the Batmobile, big fan of this. I have this in Lego. We have some Porsches in there. We have a Mini. I think we have a Jag in there. A handful of cars for us to have a closer look at before they're released. So thank you very much to Pendle. Stay tuned for some more Pendle news in the future. But that was really cool of them. And they did look at some 2024 stuff, I believe. Nothing shared with me. If I do find out anything of what the 2024 range hold, I will let you know. But some exciting stuff from Scala Trick, and it's good to see them back at the UK Fest for 2024. So let's have a look at some HO news, and our friends at Bauer are saying that their BMW 2800 CS Rally Olympia is available. This thing looks incredible. Again, how do they squeeze all this detail on these little beasts? A really good looking car. If you do want one, grab them quickly. If you do check the website before slot, these things sell out fast. And of course, we do have our upcoming Choose a Porsche very soon. But very nice looking car, BMW 2800 CS Rally Olympia. Could be yours, but don't sit on it because these will sell out fast. So continuing with the HO news, Auto World on their Instagram page are showing some Auto World store exclusives for the Boogie van. What a name, what a HO car. It is the 1973 Dodge Street van in 3 liveries, and I believe all 3 are exclusive to their Auto World store. Huge fan of this. It's something different. It's a bit of fun. I think they look really good and they'll probably perform well because there's a little bit of weight on top. So if you do want one of these, check out their online store for further details or reach out to them. But some more HO news from Auto World. So kicking off the slot car goodies with AFX, they are showing off their track clips to keep the track together. Now, I don't normally have many issues with AFX track, but if you do, here's another way to keep it together. Of course, you can screw through the track. There is some indents to put some screws through, but if you don't want to do that, here is another alternative, or do both. Really cool idea. Again, it's good to see the smaller brands doing some of the stuff that the bigger brands do. So if you didn't know there was clips for your smaller track, well, here you go. You can get some from AFX. So next slot, it's showing off 2 angle winder motor pods. The first one is a 1.25mm offset. It is the Evo 6 carbon fiber. The second one is the 1.25mm offset, also an Evo 6 carbon fiber, but it is the bearing version. So you have 2 versions here. And don't forget, we've got a big race coming up in America, which I'll talk about more in the world news. So next we have Pendle Slots showing off the DS light kit on their socials. Now, some cars do come with the lights, most don't come with lights. I think every slot car should have lights in it. It makes it feel more realistic. So if you are wanting to put some lights in your car, there is a DS light kit. If you are doing enduros, this is normally part of the rules. So here's an alternative kit you can buy instead of either making your own, or you might be able to use this one. So check out Pendle. We do have the DS light kit to make your car, I think, look that more realistic. So what's happening in the world of slot cars? Well, let's kick off with Racetrack Scenic. So I've shared a photo on their social media pages of this massive warehouse space, which is their new location, which I think is very exciting, and hats off to them. It appears that Racetrack Scenic is very healthy, which is good for the hobby. It means the hobby wants this kind of product, and good for them for expanding, because they are making some incredible products. Aussies, don't forget, there is an Aussie distributor in Australia who also distributes some Aussie only stuff, which is cool to see. So reach out to Racetrack Scenics. I'll try and link everything below so you can find the Aussie retailer, but it's good to see that Racetrack Scenics expanding. It means the hobby must be healthy and wanting this kind of product. Next up, we have some news from the Legends SRC in Spain. Now, keep in mind, this is only a small team and they're forever innovating. They're always listening to their fans, their racers, and they've done it again with designing a new motor for rally applications, the M3R. And I'm guessing this has come from feedback from racers and fans saying we need a motor specifically for this category, and it looks like that's what they are doing. I have reached out to them for some specifics on SRC have got back to me, and the M3 is very similar to the one you can buy now, 17,000 RPM, but the way they make it is a little bit different. There's more time it takes to make it, a bit more care, so the quality is a lot better for the M3R. Can't wait to see this in action, and let me know if you do get one, how you think it performs against the standard M3. The motor, RPM, voltage, etc., but I've yet got any info. Any more I get, I'll let you know. I am extremely proud to be a part of the SRC team, which I have been for a long time, and I'm a big believer of their brand because for such a small team, they're always innovating, they're listening, and they're always trying to make your experience on the other end better. And the M3Rs is another example of how far they will go to make their product better for the user on the other end. So hats off to SRC. Next, we've got Skylorder, who are setting up for another Resi Span event, and I did like these photos. It does show the work that goes into it and just how epic these tracks are. Now, like I said at the start of the year, there's a lot of racing this year. Of course, I'm going to a race next month. This will be exciting to go see, but Skylorder does a very good job, and they're always posting the behind the scenes stuff. So keep your eyes out. If there is a link for this to watch it live, of course, on my Facebook, and I'll try and put some stuff in the news in the future, but another Resi Span race is just around the corner. So continue with the racing theme, we do have show-us-your slots with the RVO Australian Championships happening this weekend. Good luck to everyone in Australia. I wish I was there to see this event. You might see me there next year at a couple of the races. But really good to see that RevoSlot got behind this. It's an Australian event. It's the first RevoSlot Australian Championship, so I hope it does kick off with a bang. And I really hope we get some footage of it so I can share on the news or maybe put a package together for them to show how it was ran in Australia. So good luck to everyone at the RevoSlot Australian Championship, and I can't wait to see the results. So that's a wrap on today's episode of That Slot Car Guy News for a Friday. I do thank you for joining me. As you can see, I'm in a different spot in the room. I am ripping the room apart to lay out a new track. Of course, I've got some plastic track from Carrara, so I will be setting up a decent sized track in here to do some testing of the axle box and have some fun. There is some big news coming to the channel next week. You will see some changes next week to the news, which is quite exciting. And of course, we've got the American race coming up, and I will have an announcement about the channel in October, but we won't talk about that until we get closer. But very exciting stuff upcoming. But as always, at That Slot Car Guy on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. If this is the kind of content you like, please consider subscribing. It does help out the channel, and I'm hunting daily for new news, stuff to bring to the channel. I do have some reviews that I'm finishing up, so the recording is almost done. So next week we'll have some more stuff on the channel. If you do want to support the channel, of course, I've got Patreon. You can become a member. There is tipping availabilities, but I'll let you guys find that if you do think that's worth doing for the channel, because of course I don't always like promoting that. But be safe, take care, support your local. Ciao.